This is the coolest board.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got Brandon and Leo here from Surfboard Trading Co. Today we're talking about the Any Day. What's so good about it? Why would you ride it? What do you think, Leo? Why would you ride this board?
Why would you not ride this board is the better question.
Okay.
Because to start this off strong, the proof is in the pudding. I was telling Brandon the story earlier while we were shooting.
Proof's in the pudding, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
proof is in the pudding.
It's in the pudding.
I showed him 2 clips from the same surfing day. It was a cold front in Florida, and if you know anything about cold fronts in Florida, you know you cannot predict what's going to happen. You could wake up and it could be double overhead, or you could wake up and it could be dead flat. I only had one spot in my car to pack a board, and I brought a 7.0 Any Day, I believe. Would it be 7.0?
7.4 you have.
I have a 7.4.
7.4, you're right.
Probably know this. Anyways, brought a 7.4. I knew that from the start. And I had a twin fin setup in it, which he disagrees with, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later in the video. And I only brought a 7.4 Any Day with a twin fin because, again, you can surf this any day. It's in the name. And woke up at 5 a.m., drove up to Palm Beach, and we showed up, and it was about 2 feet overhead, really steep and barely, and all I had was the Any Day. But I was not worried at all because it's a mid-length, but it's super pulled in the nose all the way through to the tail. It's knifey enough to where on the steep sections you're not going to slide out like with other mid-lengths. And paddled out, and second wave of the day, I got barreled on a 2 foot overhead day. And then later in the day, I surfed it and it was knee-high mush. And we'll throw those iPhone clips up on the screen right now. But that just is the testament, the proof in the pudding.
Proof's in the pudding.
That the Any Day is what it says it is. You can surf it on 2 foot days or 2 foot overhead steep days.
Yeah, so there's a lot of negative connotations about egg shapes or mid-lengths, and the reality is we want to catch as many waves as possible, right? Like I want to get in as early as I can, and I want to catch as often as possible. We want to stay on the wave, simply put. And the Any Day allows you to do it. And we love the Any Day because it is that one board quiver that just gives you the best board for most conditions, especially on the East Coast. You know, you have the volume, you have the float to get in early, you have the length for that paddle power, and then you have the maneuverability once you stand. And I'd say that the one thing that we try to caution our customers about is going too big. So if you're thinking 710, you may want to consider 7.4. If you're thinking 7.4, you may want to consider 6.10, unless you're a beginner. But still, the only problem you get when you're talking shortboards and mid-lengths is you can have too much volume to a point where your weight can't manipulate that foam. So if you go too big, a lot of customers will say, oh, the board feels unresponsive or stiff.
Yeah.
But like that's the number one complaint when someone chooses the wrong size. So, you know,
especially with a knifier board like this, because you're buying this to have fun and
right.
to get a turn or two in.
Right.
Maybe not like a short board, but you're still getting it to have fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, comparing it to the Baby Log and the Dumpling, it's the most aggressive mid-length that we make. And we just feel like, you know, customers come in every day. Like Leo rides it as a twin fin. I'm a big fan of a single fin or a 2+1, you know, having the side bites that add to that maneuverability. But some people like to loosen up, like you, where you add the twin fins.
Get that extra bit of speed too.
Yeah, and you know, like Leo said, you know, the proof's in the pudding. If you're on the fence about a size, just reach out. We're happy to help.
But real quick, let's talk about the glassing options.
Sure.
In the construction, because it's pretty special.
Yeah,
with this one.
Absolutely.
So there are other boards, but
so the foam blanks that we use, they're the most expensive foam blanks we've purchased, and the reason is because they're very durable. We use temperature and we use steam to condense that blank and make it really hard. So we can cut back on the glassing a little bit without removing that durability. So the durability stays intact. We cut down on the glassing to make sure that the board's still very light. And then we put an extra layer of glassing on all of your impact areas. So the deck has it where all your pressure dings normally occur. We put an extra layer from I'd say about this point on the nose all the way down. We put an extra layer of glassing over the rails and then over the fin box we also add an additional layer of fiberglass, because especially if you are going to ride it as a twin fin, those fins are so big, they put so much stress on these fin boxes, and a lot of times with twin fishes, or you know, a mid-length with keel fins, it rips the box out because of all the stress that it's under. You know, most mid-lengths are used to these
Especially
little.
when you're getting barreled on a 2
Of
foot
course,
overhead
of course, yes. So those keel fins add a lot more stress to the fin box. So we add that 3 layers over the fin boxes to make sure that they stay in place. Or if you're a little crazy like Leo, send it into the shoreline. We want the fin boxes to stay in the board and keep you out of the repair shop. And that's the value of those extra layers of glassing.
Mm-hmm. And it does work. I mean, I've had this thing slammed against the sandbar pretty hard a couple times, and it's never broken. It doesn't even have a pressure ding in it. They're robust, and it holds up.
Robust.
Proof is in the pudding.
The proof's in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, reach out. We're here for you, and we want to help you stay on the wave as often as possible.